Hello, my name is Fara Curlewis and I work at Newmarket at the Pranic Healing Centre. Just want to tell you about my practice. I use three main tools in my practice, and each one of these tools is in itself is a spiritual path. So the first one I use is pranic healing. So pranic healing is a look at energy. It's developed by Master Chalko Sui, and it's a way of describing that we're more than our bodies, that we're more than our minds, and we're more than our thoughts and feelings, that we're spiritual beings of divine intelligence, divine love and divine power, and getting in touch with that spiritual aspect of ourselves so that we can truly do our soul's journey to clear the blockages, to keep vitality. So pranic healing describes how to energize yourself, how to stay full of vitality, how to remove or how to recognize and remove contaminated, diseased energy out of your aura. So pranic healing is an energy system, looking at the aura, looking at chakras. So when chakras are out of balance, it's impossible to be well, it's impossible to make the changes you might want to make in your life, and it's extraordinarily difficult to be able to stay present and keep out of the pain body. So that's just a little bit about pranic healing. The other part of my practice is the work of Byron Katie. The work of Byron Katie, she has a website, it's called thework.com, and it's a fascinating way of looking at belief systems. So the energy gets blocked in our auras, and our chakras begin to malfunction because of judgments, because of attitudes, and those judgments and attitudes and beliefs that are based in beliefs end up causing us the problems and provokes our suffering. So by having a judgment or an attitude that life should be different or this shouldn't have happened to me, makes it critically difficult to stay present, to stay connected to your higher self, to stay present to the fact that you're a supreme being of divine intelligence, divine love and divine power. So the work of Byron Katie with the 4 questions and the turnaround is a beautiful tool to begin doing some housework, to clean up your act, to have a look at the cost of certain belief systems. So each belief system has an energetic cost, and we're entitled to a certain amount of energy flowing through us, and when we're using it in the way of a judgment, or if we're using it in the way of an attitude of superiority or intolerance or impatience with another, we in fact separate ourselves from the divine. And Byron Katie explains this and solves this problem with these amazing 4 questions and a turnaround. And just doing that work, if you do it over and over again, you get to see how you can stay present, how you can have peace in your life. The third tool that I use, and I've been studying this since 96, is the Enneagram. The Enneagram is a spiritual path that's come down through the Jesuit and Sufi tradition, and there's evidence that it was present in the 3rd century in Egypt, and that it was used by the monks and the mothers and desert mothers and fathers in the monasteries. And what the Enneagram describes, it describes 9 personality types, it describes 3 centers of intelligence, it describes the 9 passions or fixations that create the disturbances and the suffering in our life, it describes the 9 active virtues required to find the portal or the doorway into the divine. It also describes a transactional three transactional steps about using the three centres of intelligence. So when we only use one centre of intelligence, we lose connection to the other two centres. And when we lose connection to the other two centres, we end up suffering. We end up creating the misery. We end up creating the pollution. We end up with unhappiness. The Enneagram then also describes and predicts the cycle, what's called the cycle of transformation. So it describes the 6 steps required to begin to change your life, so that you can change your life in a systematic way. And these 6 steps, when you go through these change and you go through it and you take each of the steps and the 3 points on each of the steps, you can transform, you can evolve, you can get smarter, you can get happier, you can stay connected to your higher self. So these are the 3 tools I use in using in different degrees in my work, and I recommend an hour-and-a-half session to start with, and I offer this at $100. And usually to get relief, it's usually 4 sessions. And in those 4 sessions, and each session is $100, I introduce you to these ideas. I introduce you to the ways that you can end up using these techniques for yourself, and how to use the resources in the community that support this spiritual work. So I look forward to seeing you, and I hope you can join me. And I'm in Newmarket, Brisbane, and thank you very much. Namaste.